So the financial service has been divided into two types. So which are the two types? Asset or fund based service, and the second type is non-fund based service. So merchant banking provides finance as well as other consultancy services. Who is a stockbroker? So he is a broker who help the investors to invest in the marketable securities. So a single bank cannot provide huge loan. In such cases, group of banks come together in providing loan. Hello everyone, I am Harshita, lecturer, Department of Commerce, Vidyashram First Grade College, the Temple of Excellence, Mysore. Today, we are in the fourth session of Unit 1, that is Introduction to Financial Service. So my dear students, what do you mean by financial service? So the service which is provided by financial organizations are called as financial service. And the group of financial organization is known as finance industry. So for each and every organization, finance is very important. So it is called as lifeblood of the business. So finance is called as lifeblood of the business because without finance, an organization cannot run its activities. So these finance will be provided by number of organizations which is known as financial organization. And the finance or the service which is provided by financial organization is known as financial service. Now we shall quickly recall what we have discussed in a previous session. So in a previous session we have learnt about this topic, that is types of financial service. So the financial service has been divided into two types. So which are the two types? Asset or fund based service, and the second type is non-fund based service. So in a previous session we have learnt about asset or fund based service. So these are some of the asset or fund based service. So the first one is equipment leasing or lease financing. Second one is hire purchase and consumer credit, and the third one is bill discounting, and the fourth one is venture capital. And the fifth one is housing finance, and the sixth one is insurance service, and the seventh one is factoring, and the eighth one is forfeiting, and the ninth one is mutual fund. So all these topics we have discussed in a previous session. In today's session we shall learn about the second type of financial service, that is non-fund based service. So your second type of financial service is non-fund based service. So we shall discuss in detail what comes under non-fund based service. In today's session we shall learn about non-fund based service. So under that, the first one is merchant banking. Now what is this merchant banking? So merchant banking provides finance as well as other consultancy services. So what is the main aim of merchant banking? What is the role of merchant banking? In order to provide finance as well as consultancy services. So what do you mean by consultancy services? So it may be advice, or it may be guidance, or it may be the information. So that is known as consultancy services. So this merchant banking provides finance as well as consultancy services to its clients. So we shall see what is this merchant banking. Merchant banking is basically a service banking. So the main aim is to provide service. So it is called as service banking, concerned with providing non-fund based service. So here they are mainly going to provide non-fund based service. So it comes under non-fund based service of arranging fund rather than providing them. Now here you have to remember the main role of merchant banking is not to provide fund. Their main aim is to arrange the fund. So here merchant banking will give consultancy services. So it gives advice, it gives guidelines relating to banking services. Here they are not going to provide directly fund, but they are going to arrange the fund for its clients. The merchant banker merely acts as an intermediary. Now, intermediary between whom? Between the user of finance as well as who is having excess amount of finance. So here merchant banker act as a intermediary between the client as well as the finance organization. He is known as what? He is known as intermediary between finance organization as well as the client. The main job is to transfer capital from those who owe it and for those who need it. So here there are two parties, one who wanted the capital and one who is giving the capital. So here merchant banker act as a mediator between one who owes it and one who needs it. So the organization which is having excess amount of money will be transferred to the needy organization, in the sense those organization who actually needs the money. So here merchant banker act as a mediator between one who owes the money and one who needs the money. So he is called as what? Intermediary. Today, merchant banker act as an institution which understands the requirement of the promoters on the one hand and the financial institution, banks, stock exchange and money market on the other. So there are two group of people, one who is having excess of money, for example financial institution or other organization who will be providing fund. On the other hand, one who wants the fund for the investment. So this merchant banker act as an intermediary between these two parties. So it helps the client or it helps the organization who are in need of money by providing the funds from the financial organizations. So he is called as what? Intermediary. Merchant banker is an intermediary between two parties, one who owes money, in the sense one who is having excess amount of money and they are willing to give, and on the other hand one who needs money, who is not having sufficient amount of money for investment for such people. So this merchant banker will help them to provide finance from the organizations. SEBI Merchant Bankers Rule 1992 has defined merchant banker as any person who is engaged in the business of issue management. So who is engaged in the business of issue management either by making arrangement. So here I have told you, here merchant banker are not directly providing the finance to the user, but they are making arrangements in order to provide the finance regarding selling, buying or subscribing to securities or acting as a manager, consultant or advisor in rendering advisory services. So what do you mean by advisory services? Along with that, this merchant banker, along with the arrangement of finance, this merchant banker will advise. So he will give suggestions. In the sense, he provides consultancy services to its clients in relation to some issue management. I think you are clear about merchant banker. So who is a merchant banker? So he is an intermediary between two parties where he is not directly going to provide finance to the organization, rather than he will make arrangement in providing the finance. And the second one is credit rating. So what is this credit rating? That is the credit worthiness of an organization. So if an organization have borrowed loan, whether that organization is having the capacity to repay back the loan with interest, so that is known as what? Credit worthiness. Whether the organization is having the capacity to repay back the loan. So credit rating means giving an expert opinion by the rating agency. So here there is an agency which is known as rating agency. So what is the role of rating agency? To check the credit worthiness of an organization. So I have told you about credit worthiness. So what do you mean by credit worthiness? So when an organization have borrowed loan to the organization, so whether the organization is repayable or whether it is in the capacity to repay it back, so that is known as what? Credit worthiness. So here credit rating is a credit agency or a rating agency on the relative willingness and ability of the issuer of a debt instrument to meet the financial obligations in time and in full. So here it is an agency. So it is a rating agency It is a rating agency which checks the credit worthiness of an organization. So here it checks the credit worthiness of an organization. So what do you mean by credit worthiness? Whether the organization is able to, or whether the organization is having the capacity to pay back its debt along with the interest. It measures the relative risk of an issuer's ability and willingness to repay both interest and principal. So here an organization will not have sufficient amount of money, then it borrows loans from the financial organization. So here the duty of a credit rating agency is that, so it will check the organization who have borrowed loan from the financial organization. So whether the borrowed organization have credit worthiness, so whether it is able to repay back its loan along with principal as well as interest over a period of rated instrument. It is a judgment about the firm's financial and business prospects, whether the business is able to repay back its loan or not. In short, credit rating means assessing the credit worthiness of a company by an independent organization. So, independent organization is nothing but what? Rating agency. I think you are clear about credit rating. So, it is an agency which checks the credit worthiness of an organization. So, whether the organization is able to repay back its debt along with principal amount as well as interest. It's nothing but whether the organization is able to repay back its loan along with interest or not. So, if the organization is having greater credit worthiness, in the sense if the organization have paid their loan in a particular period of time, that is in a particular given duration, then it will have a high rate of credit worthiness. For such type of organizations where this agency have rated their credit worthiness, such type of organization, so here the financial institution will provide loan to such kind of organization who is having a higher rate of credit worthiness. Next is stock broking. Now what is stock broking? So in the financial market, all the investor will not have sufficient knowledge about stock, that is trading in stock. For them, this stock broker acts as a broker which provides advisory services to these investors. In the sense, they will guide the investor in investing their money in the stock market. So they are known as what? Stock broker. Now, stock broking has emerged as a professional advisory service. Now, it has become a profession where the stockbroker gives advices to the investors in order to invest in the stock market. So, here they act as an intermediary between the investor as well as stock market. Stockbroker is a member of recognized stock exchange. So, he should be a member of recognized stock exchange. He buys, sells or deals in shares or security. Now, what is the duty of a stockbroker? So, he buys, sells as well as he exchange the shares and securities of the investors. It is compulsory for each stockbroker to get himself or herself registered with SEBI. That is, they have to register with Securities Exchange Board of India in order to act as a broker. A normal person cannot become a broker, so he has to register in the SEBI, that is Securities Exchange Board of India. As a member of stock exchange, he will have to abide the rules and regulations of SEBI. Now, who is a stockbroker? So, he is a broker who help the investors to invest in the marketable securities. Now, here the investor will not have sufficient knowledge about this investment. So, here the stockbroker act as an intermediary and advise the investors to invest in the stock market. And he has to register under SEBI and he has to follow all the rules and regulations as well as laws of SEBI. Next is custodial service. Now, what is this custodial service? In simple words, the services provided by the custodian are known as custodial service. Custodian is an institution or a person who is handed over securities by the security owners for safe custody. Here the securities of the investors will be under the safe custody of a organization or a individual which is known as what? Custodian. So who is a custodian? So custodian is a person who safeguards the security of the investors. So here the securities of the investors are being safeguarded by a institution or an individual known as what? Custodian. So in simple words, the services provided by custodian is known as custodial service. Now, what is the duty of an custodian? Custodian is an institution or a person. So it can be an individual person also who is handed over securities by the security owners. Now, the security owners will hand over their security to the custodian. So, what is the duty of a custodian? To safeguard the securities of security owners. Custodian is a caretaker. So, he is also called as caretaker of the public property or securities, because here the owner have given their property in the custody of custodian. So, he has to safeguard that property. Custodians are intermediaries. So, here also he acts as an intermediary between companies and clients. That is security holders and institutions. That is financial institution and mutual fund. So here custodian is an intermediary between institutions. So institutions is nothing but financial institutions as well as the owner of the security. So he acts as an intermediary between institution as well as the holder of the security or owner of the security. Now what you have to remember here, custodian is an intermediary. Now what is the duty of an custodian? To safeguard the security of the owner. Now here the owner of the security will give their security in the hands of custodian. Now the duty of a custodian to safeguard the securities of the owner. So he acts as an intermediary between the institutions, that is financial institution, as well as the owner of the securities. So there is an arrangement and agreement between the custodian and real owner of securities or properties to act as a custodian who have handed over it. So there will be an initial agreement between the owner of security as well as the custodian. The duty of custodian is to keep the securities or documents. So here safeguarding what? Securities as well as document under safe custody. The work of custodian is very risky and costly because these securities have to be safeguarded by the custodian. So it is a risky task. For rendering this service, he gets a remuneration called as custodial charges. So for safeguarding the securities, he will be given some remuneration which is known as what? Custodial service. Thus, custodial service is the service of keeping the securities safe and on behalf of somebody else for a remuneration called as custodial charges. Now, what here you have to remember here? Here the custodian safeguards the security of some other person, that is the owner of the securities, for which he charges some amount which is known as what? Custodial charges. And the next point is loan syndication. Now what is this loan syndication? For that I will give an example. Now A Limited wants more number of money in order to invest in the organization, but A Limited is not having sufficient amount of money, but it wants excess amount of money in order to enlarge his organization. So what the A Limited will do? It will go for a bank and ask for a loan. Now A Limited wants money in order to invest in the organization, so he goes for a bank and ask for a loan. Now what the bank will do? Bank will not have that much amount in order to give or in order to provide to A Limited. So what the bank will do? Here number of banks, in the sense group of banks, will provide amount to one bank. So this bank is known as what? Lead manager. Lead manager. Here one bank acts as a lead manager where other banks provides amount to this lead manager bank and this lead manager bank provide amount to A. Now here all other banks provide fund to lead manager bank and lead manager bank provide fund to A Limited. So this is known as what? Loan syndication, where the amount of loan is very large and it cannot be provided by a single bank. Then a group of banks come together and one bank act as a lead manager and that bank provides loan to the organization. Now, what is this loan syndication? Loan syndication is an arrangement where group of banks participate. Here, it's not that one single bank is providing loan. A group of banks participate to provide funds for a single loan. But the loan is one loan. It is a single loan, but group of banks participate in providing amount for that single loan. So, in loan syndication, a group of banks comprising 10 to 30 banks participate to provide funds wherein one of the bank is the lead manager. So, this I have told you in the example. So, here A Limited wants amount and he goes for a bank. So, but that much amount is not there in the bank. So, then group of banks comes together and one bank act as a lead manager and that lead manager bank provides loan to the organization. This lead bank is decided by the corporate enterprise. So, who will decide the lead bank? Corporate enterprise, depending upon the confidence of the lead manager. So, here simply a bank cannot be considered as a lead manager. It should have that capacity to give the loan. So, it acts as a lead manager and that lead manager is appointed by whom? Corporate enterprise. A single bank cannot give huge loan. So, this will happen in case of huge loan. So, a single bank cannot provide huge loan. In such cases, group of banks come together in providing loan. Hence, a number of banks join together and form a syndicate. So, they will join together and form a syndicate. This is known as what? Loan syndication. Thus, loan syndication is very similar to consortium financing. Hope you are clear with loan syndication. And the sixth point is securitization of debt. Now, what is this securitization of debt? Before going through the explanation, I'll give an example. Now, a person, for example, A Limited, or it can be institution also, the organization also. Now, A Limited is in need of money, so he goes for the bank. Now, A Limited is called as what? Is the borrower. Okay. Now, A Limited is in need of money, he goes for a bank and he applies for the loan. And the bank will provide a loan to the organization, that is A Limited, and A Limited has to provide the security. So, here A Limited has to provide the security, then the bank will provide loan to A Limited. Now, in the same way, there are number of borrowers like A Limited who wants loan and who are in need of money, and they go to a bank and the bank will provide loan by what? By giving the security. So, by taking the security, bank will provide loan to these borrowers. Now, since the cash which was there in the bank, so it has been provided to borrowers in the form of loan, right? Now, there is no sufficient amount of cash in the bank. So, what the bank will do? Bank will appoint SPV, that is Special Purchase Vehicle. Bank will appoint SPV, Special Purchase Vehicle. Now, bank is having the security, that is the mortgage securities of the borrowers, but it is not having liquid cash in order to undertake its activity. So, what the bank will do? Bank will appoint SPV, which is known as what? Special Purchase Vehicle. Now, what is the work of SPV? Here, SPV will appoint credit rating agency. So, SPV will appoint credit rating agency, or the SPV will consult credit rating agency. Now, the bank will provide all the securities which was there in the bank, that is the borrower securities, to SPV. Now, what the SPV will do? SPV will give the securities to credit rating agency. So SPV will give the securities to credit rating agency. So the credit rating agency will see the credit worthiness of the borrower. Clear? So here the work of credit rating agency is to see the credit worthiness of the borrower which was given by special purchase vehicle. Now what happens then? Here they have seen the credit worthiness of the borrower. Now the SPV will give or sell the securities. So here SPV will sell the securities in the open market. So here total what happens? The securities or the mortgage securities of the borrowers is being converted into marketable securities. Clear? Here loan has been converted into marketable securities. SPV have started trading in the marketable securities. In the sense, SPV have started issuing securities in the open market on the belief that of mortgage securities which was there in the bank. Now once again I'll repeat. Here there are number of borrowers who are in need of money. What they will do? They will go to the bank. So bank will provide loan by taking mortgage securities from the borrowers. Now in the same way, if number of borrowers take loan from the bank, what happens? The liquidity, that is the cash availability in the bank decreases, whereas the mortgage securities is there in the bank but the availability of cash is not there in the bank. Now what the bank will do? So bank will give these mortgage securities to SPV. Now what the SPV will do? Taking that mortgage security, it will appoint credit rating agency. Now what is the work of credit rating agency? To check the credit worthiness of the investor, that is borrowers. So after checking the credit worthiness, so if the credit worthiness is good, then this SPV will issue the securities in the open market. So it starts trading in the open market on the belief of this mortgage securities. In the sense, if something happens, then this mortgage securities will be in the hands of SPV. So this is about securitization. Now loans given to customer are assets for the banks. So here loans are always assets for the bank. They are called as what? Loan assets. Unlike investment asset, loan asset are not tradable. Here loan assets cannot be traded in the open market like other assets which can be traded in the market. Thus, loan assets are not liquid. This is, they cannot be immediately transferred into cash. So if you take this example, here they have mortgaged their securities and they have taken the loan. But that mortgage security is not in the form of cash, right? So it cannot be traded in the open market. The problem is how to make loan of a bank liquid. How to make the loan into a liquid asset, that is liquid cash. This problem can be solved by transferring the loans into marketable securities. So here the loan can be transferred to marketable securities. So that conversion of loan into marketable securities is known as what? Securitization. Now loans become liquid, they get the characteristics of marketability. So this is done through the process of securitization. Securitization is a financial innovation. So it is a conversion of existing or future cash inflows. So here what? This mortgage securities are what? Future cash inflows into marketable securities. Here loans are being converted into marketable securities that can be sold to the investors. So it is a process by which financial assets such as loan receivables, credit card balance, hire purchase, debtors, lease receivables, trade debtors, etc. are transferred into securities. So in the example I have given about mortgage security. In the same way, these securities can be converted into cash or cash equivalents. In the sense, they can be converted into marketable security. Thus, any asset with predictable cash inflow can be securitized. Hope you have understood properly. So here you have to remember, securitization means keeping the asset, that is, which cannot be traded in the market. So that has to be converted into marketable security where it can be converted into cash or cash equivalents. Securitization is defined as a process of transformation of illiquid asset. So I have told you about this illiquid asset which cannot be converted into cash immediately. So converting illiquid asset into liquid asset is known as what? Securitization. So in short, securitization is a transformation of illiquid assets, that is non-marketable securities, into marketable security. It is the process of transformation of assets of a lending institutions into negotiable instruments. So in my next session, I am going to discuss this topic, that is financial market, next functions of financial market, then various types of market and organized sector. So my dear students, in today's session we have learned non-fund based financial service. So we have learned each and every non-fund based financial service in detail. In my next session, I am going to discuss these topics. My dear students, hope you have understood today's session. See you all in my next session. Till then, take care. Thank you.